Hey, welcome back, Binder and UA fans, for episode 12 of building Heinous the Adventurall here. Got the entire A team here this time, and including cameraman Joe behind the camera. Like, we're all here as a team. It's great. We're obviously, if you watched our last episode, you knew that Kory and Corlib duo were in town helping me work on this. And on the last episode, we got the front axle all welded up and fixed up, and some extra repairs we didn't plan on. But regardless, we're glad we found out and took care of everything we needed to do on that front axle, and that we know it'll be ready to go for Unreal Adventure here coming up in about 2 months. So it's June 25th today, and I got
It's going to be a scorcher.
It'd be 2 degrees cooler than yesterday.
Oh, not so much a scorcher.
Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah, we're about to find out.
Got everyone here, and we're going to today tackle this rear end. Well, at least I've got them assigned to rear end duty. Zaed's building a backup transmission for reasons that maybe we'll discuss, hopefully not in a later episode, but we may have to.
Yeah.
And
plan B. Always have a plan B.
Yeah, I've always had a plan B, exactly. And I want to start unbolting the roll cage and sliders now that they're built, and it's starting, get to that point where things just start getting finished, for the last time. It's not just built and tack welded and all that. So aside from that, I'm ready to get to work. How about you boys?
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to get some welding going, get some grinding going.
Warm up for the morning.
That's right.
Right over the axle.
Got to hit our monster.
Oh, I've already had 2. We were in here yesterday working on an axle. Zaed showed up around noon, ripped apart an NV 4500, and he's about got the sucker back together over there as a plan C AAA.
You can never be over prepared, right? When it comes to having a project to build and a deadline, which is, the deadlines are the worst thing ever. As a builder, if you have never had a deadline on a project, believe me, you haven't suffered. So anyways, what do you think, guys? Let's get to it.
Oh, we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing a few changes to the link mounts I've done on this axle build. I want to actually take the lower mounts and widen them up as far as we can go. And a couple of reasons: a little bit extra triangulation, which never hurts. And the other reason is for my sway bar. So I've got some really cool sway bar links I got from TK1 Racing. And these are like hydraulic little miniature shocks. So instead of the normal sway bar hard links, I want to run these just because they have extra 2 inch of give in it. So if you're really flexing it out on the trail, it's not holding up your suspension from flexing as much. I got a little bit of give there. They're pretty trick. They're charged, I think, to like 200 pounds, but you can change the pressure in them if it's too much or too little. But the whole idea is these are a little bit longer than the real estate I currently have available underneath the chassis. So by them moving the link mounts out, I can hopefully drop the sway bar mount down and then have enough room to run these bad boys.
There slowly. We're trying to get these brackets pushed out as far as we can for Jeff's rear forelink. And the reason why we're trying to get them pushed out as far as we can, the farther you can get this pushed out to the edge, the more stable the truck's going to be on the road and on the trail. So he had about 1.5 inches we could push it out till it gets to his tires, and also making room for his track bar brackets that need to be 1 inch lower. So we're kind of knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone here. So we're getting ready to do some welding, but first fitting.
corporate's got me over here working on this thing. The goal is to at least get this transmission assembled, done to where when these parts show up, as in the shift cover, the tail housing, all this stuff, I can just slap this thing together and it'll just be ready to go. So, and obviously, you know, everything I build has to look pretty, so a lot of the time here is spent on the deco department of this rig. And, you know, that kind of moves on to this next thing under the tarp here. The coveted 392 project. Been tinkering on this thing for months. This is like my career project here. I don't know if it'll run, but got it all basically put together, and I'm gonna have Kory help me set these adjustable roller tip rockers and get the lash kind of set right. And fortunately, I have to remove my custom valve cover because it dawned on me that none of the accessory brackets would clear this, and I don't have enough willpower in me to actually make all new accessory brackets. So right here I got a nice pair of stock valve covers and went ahead and welded a baffle in here to cover up the breather hole there. So we're in the home stretch here of the drivetrain department. We get back to work here and slowly peck at this transmission, hopefully get it all done here within a couple hours. All right, we got to press this bearing on this shaft here, and you know, usually you got to put this in the press and press it on, and it's kind of difficult to do this in our press here with what we have. So what I like to do is, about 5 years ago, my mom upgraded her toaster oven, and she threw it away, and little did she know, I actually took it out of the trash, because it worked perfectly fine. I don't know why she threw it away, but it's good for expanding bearings. So if you want to come over here, you want to preheat your oven to about 450 for about 5 minutes, and then say 15 minutes is plenty. You put her on the hottest mode possible, so all the way, crank it up to the beans, you know, throw it in there, sit back and relax. About 10-15 minutes, that thing will be scorching hot. You'll smell it too. It'll be burning off all the chemicals off that bearing. We'll come back here, we'll grab it. Hopefully it just slides over that without any problems, and keep on putting this thing together. Get that bearing out, and it just fell on here. Just here slowly pecking at this thing, and now this is the rear half of it, and this is actually the reverse gear. This is your reverse slider. There it goes. All right, boom. So when you want to go into reverse, you know, it'll go shink. Just need to inspect everything, make sure all looks good, and we'll keep on trucking on here. But right here is where fifth gear press is on, but we're not going to do that until we get this installed into the case here. So there's a lot of steps, and I probably did something wrong. I just don't know it yet, but we'll figure that out soon. If you're not doing it 4 times, you ain't doing it right. That good. I'm gonna see if FA likes it, and if it is, I'm gonna seal her up, put 5th gear on it, which is all of this stuff is 5th gear I still gotta deal with, and then I gotta press on the 5th gear onto this. That goes back here. So we'll get this buttoned up, and the 5th gear goes here, and then that's as far as this thing can get assembled until we get some parts in the mail.
Definitely be fun putting this back together like that, just totally spraying. So you got to get creative when you go to put one of these cages up. You weld on it, legs, everything's going to distort, and you have to all get it back together. So this is where a porta power comes in handy, heavy duty ratchet straps, pry bars, like big mallet, anything you got to do to just get this thing all back into shape. According to theory, this bar kind of looks welded to itself over here. Should be knocked. Yeah. Go ahead and knock your down. It's tight in there, I guess. I got a little bit of a spot. You got a handle to hold on to?
Yeah, I can hold on to
Ready?
it.
There it is. Piece number 1 out.
Yeah.
Start. Now number it how you took it out.
Yeah, I got to do it. Well, I got Joe here documenting it all. It's good.
Oh.
Don't cut any of this footage out, Joe. I may need it to put this truck
Don't
back
lay
together.
out that trigger.
I don't know how to do. I don't know how to do. There's no directions. Reasons to not just move this lower bracket out more. Now I've got the room to run these hydraulic struts from TK1. This was my prior length that I could only run because I'm bottomed out here. The body's right there. So if with the new setup, be able to get the tabs in there, and then that strut can pretty much, well, it'll probably be about like out here at this point, but should work out really good.
Houston, we have a problem. So here's the problem. The tabs we have bottom out. That's as much as we get for misalignment.
That's not a whole lot.
That's not enough. And then the way you have to weld on, you have no movement. Like that just gets to.
Yeah. This is pretty much the tab that same size tab that came with the sway bar, and those little shock strut dealios, they are being very limited by the amount of travel that can be experienced on the truck. So we're trying to find something with a smaller radius. So like something like this, hold it up to its smaller radius, a lot of clearance around it, you know, but it just wasn't working out right. With all the choices I gave Kory, he decided to go with like using basically an oval mounting plate, and you know the oval mounting plate also has a smaller radius. We can cut it wherever we need it, so just drill these out to 1/2 inch, and I guess that'll work. Alright guys, well we've been wrenching away. We don't know where Zaed went. We think he went inside to go eat lunch. Can't thank these guys enough for coming up and helping out on this project. You know, I've got most of the cage out. They've got the front diff done. The rear diff's gonna be done. There's Mr. Zaed, he just showed up from lunch. But anyways, been a great day. Thanks for watching. Kory, do your thing.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, but also tell us what we were doing wrong in the bottom down there.
Yep. And again, thanks to all our sponsors and everything that have helped out on parts for the project and all that. And again, I can't thank these guys enough for coming out to help with this. And this guy, like I said, he's got to build and finish too, yet he's over here helping me. So we still got another day of wrenching on top of it. I don't know. We don't think we'll have
Well,
time
hey,
back.
we don't know till we open that 80 and see what it looks like. You remember yesterday.
You never know.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks guys. We'll catch you later.